because they would have searched his bumhole.
Happy New Year, Nerdaholics.
Happy New Year.
Welcome to our first video of 2021. Ooh. Obviously.
So, my first thing I'm going to say about this episode is, why was I watching it and not playing on my Nintendo Switch?
I have no idea. I wasn't watching it, and I don't have a Nintendo Switch.
He's joined the revolution.
Revolution of the Switch. Yeah.
Yes.
So as you can tell, this video is all about Revolution of the Daleks, which these two watched, and I didn't. So
I got dragged back in, okay? And it turns out that there's no end to my patience. I'll give anything a go. I think maybe because I watched a lot of shit on my own at university, it's prepared me to watch shit
on your own at home. Yeah, like we all are.
Well, as a 1 minute review,
I was going in not expecting much. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
Like I said, message beforehand, it wasn't horrendous. It's just not good. I mean, it wasn't that bad.
It wasn't woefully awful. It was just possibly
inadequate.
Yeah. Possibly inept is what it was. The problems with Series 11 and Series 12 are still there. The dialogue was clunky. The storytelling was all over the place.
I was just saying to Harry before we went live that my willing to give this show the benefit of the doubt has just completely gone. So like obviously with Series 11, I left after a couple of episodes, just wasn't for me. And then I thought, well, Series 12, I heard some things that were like, okay, like the Master, the Sidemen. I thought, okay, I'll give this the benefit of the doubt. We'll see what happens. And then the Timeless Children happened. And then I thought, well, fuck this. I'm not giving this show the benefit of the doubt ever again. Well, at least not this era anyway.
No.
Do you know what it feels like?
So I just couldn't bring myself to do it.
Out after Series 11 and let Sean deal with Season 12. And I've tagged back in. I've left it long enough to be like, do you know what? 2021, let's just ruin it by watching Doctor Who.
Who'd have thought we'd ever be saying that about our once favourite beloved show?
Oh, yeah.
Us about a year ago. Us about 6 years ago. Us when we heard the announcement it was going to be Jodie, and we were a bit sceptical. It's like, yeah.
And we were right in our scepticism because she's rubbish.
The thing is,
Chibnall is worse.
Oh, yeah. The thing is, this episode it's not going to convert anyone. You know, anyone who's new coming into this, or anyone like yourself who has kind of seen it. Watching this is not going to bring you back. It won't.
Also, I had no idea what half of the stuff was happening because I didn't see last season. So there was loads of references in there, and I was like, "Cool, this is obviously something that happened last season."
Yeah.
I didn't watch it, so I don't know what the relevance is. It's like when they walked into that TARDIS, and I was like, "Is a second TARDIS? What the? Oh, okay."
Yeah.
I mean, it didn't take me long to just sort of put two and two together. And go, oh, that must have been how they escaped Series 12's finale. All right, whatever.
Yeah. The second TARDIS is like, yeah.
You know what? I actually enjoyed the first 10 minutes. I enjoyed the first 10 minutes before Jodie turned up. When there was no Jodie, I was actually like, this actually feels like Doctor Who.
Yeah. That's a sort of a damning indictment when it feels like Doctor Who when the Doctor isn't even in its own show.
and then she appeared in the prison, and I was just like, oh, yeah, there was a reason I'd stop watching this.
The thing is, the thing that threw me is I thought this whole thing. I was trying to work out the title "Revolution of the Daleks" because like all the previous like Christmas specials and now festive specials, whatever.
You can't say Christmas special anymore.
It's not Christmas anymore. But
it's been downgraded.
Yeah, we love you, Matt Smith.
Come back.
It's like all the previous ones. They've had, with one or two exceptions, have had something that's led into it, right? You know, you've got like the Runaway Bride stuff. Like the end of the finale, you've got Donna standing in the TARDIS, and then the Christmas episode, Runaway Bride, is all about the Doctor and Donna doing whatever the hell they're doing. So when I saw this thing for this, it's like, oh, the Doctor's in prison. So the whole Christmas thing is going to be like her in prison. Then it's like the title Revolution of the Daleks. Oh, there's going to be forgiveness because it's Christmas, and then they're going to get out of the prison, and that's going to be the Christmas episode. That's what I was thinking I was going into with something like this.
Yeah.
And then it's like the prison is like all of 5 minutes. So it's like, what's the point of putting her in the prison?
The prison was only there to show you a weeping angel, which was like held up, an oud, a sycorax, and then lo and behold, the one thing we really wanted to see was another pating in prison. Yeah. Yay! What a wonderful creation that is. That's more powerful than Sutek.
Well, I was going to say that's why, because it's the most powerful alien in Doctor Who history, so it had to be in there somewhere, didn't it?
Well, it can't chew its way out of this one.
In prison.
Hey, what she did there.
Hey, I saw what you did there. I saw what you did there.
Yeah, but it can't chew its way out of prison. But then they put Captain Jack.
Yeah. Then Captain Jack had to do 19 years worth of crimes. Some really bad ones.
Which we'll probably never find out about.
How did he snuggle that vortex manipulator into the prison, all up his bum a joke again? Yay! Yummy.
Oh. Only 15 years after the first one, yeah.
Well, yeah, exactly. It's already a 15-year-old joke that's already like 20 years old.
That's almost like borderline, a classic era joke because it's so fucking long ago.
Oh, yeah, so long ago.
First plot hole then. They get out of the prison using the vortex manipulator, yeah?
Yeah.
So why didn't he just use that to get into the prison? Why did he have to commit crimes to smuggle himself in?
Because they would have searched his bumhole.
He just teleported in.
That's going to be the intro to this video.
He would have just teleported in.
You know what? Of all the plot holes, I didn't actually think of that one. Yeah, no, because that scene was so quick.
The bumhole plot hole.
So somehow he's got this bubble that freezes time and they can run through walls. Only lasts a certain amount of time. Oh, okay. Yeah. There's a lot of just kind of it's almost like they had the idea of her going into a prison and then didn't bother doing anything about the prison or having a prison break episode and went, oh, actually, that's a terrible idea. Let's bring the Daleks back.
Yeah. But this is it. Yeah. If it was like her in prison with Captain Jack for like the whole episode. And it's kind of like,
so you'd actually have to do some acting for more than 5 minutes.
Yeah, I know. It would have been a distraction.
But then Barrowman would have just carried her. I mean, although that's a bit of an odd, yeah.
That'd be a lot of work for him as well.
Yeah. Barrowman's good, but he's not that good.
Maybe, you'd have to. I mean, I think maybe Peter Capaldi could just about manage it. If it was like, if it was a two Doctors episode with them two, perhaps.
This gets me onto a point where I was like, oh yeah, making companions useful. And Yaz is suddenly in the other TARDIS with all these fucking post-it notes everywhere trying to figure out where the Doctor is. And I was like, at no point before this have we ever seen Yaz be this useful. And she isn't even that useful when she's done this.
Off-screen character development.
Off-screen character development, which Jack introduced in his pitch. Maybe Chibnall even watches our videos. Or in fact, Jack is Chibnall.
Yeah, well, we've had this theory going for a while, haven't we?
I could be Chibnall. I could do it. I can write shit Doctor Who episodes. I've done it on the internet.
Yeah, writing shit Doctor Who episodes is easy.
Yeah, exactly. You just turn up and something happens.
Right, so there's one day the Doctor turns into a plant. Done. That's an episode of Doctor Who done. There you go.
What? You've decided to rip off Rick and Morty, have you?
Yes.
Not bad to rip off.
So that was just a little thing because you were making them useful in the pitch meeting. I was like,
trying to make it useful is kind of like
But this comes out of nowhere. Literally, she's suddenly obsessed about the Doctor and trying to get find her and all this crap. I was like, well, hang on a minute. Even the season I haven't watched, it probably hasn't even appeared. That makes sense.
This is it. It's kind of like the whole. Thing is, though, she still wasn't useful. She still didn't do anything because the Doctor just turned up because Captain Jack saved her. It wasn't that Yaz and the others.
Oh, he's gone again.
He's gone. Interlude.
Several hours later.
In 2021, you've had your allotted amount of internet time.
Are you using quick?
Welcome to the Jack? Wasteland. That is Great Britain. Oh, he's back. He's back. How much of conversation did you have, Jack, before you suddenly cut out? Oh, he's cut out again.
bloody quick fit.
I love the fact. Look at his proper confused face is just frozen.
What's going on?
Trouble is, I'm not watching the screen to see if he's moving, so it's like.
No, he's not. Still not moving.
Oh well.
maybe that will be the intro to the video.
We'll just change it. Edit the Doctor Who theme and have his face appears instead of the Doctor's. Just like that.
Just zoom right in. What was this all about?
Yeah, take two.
Take two.
Although, to be fair, I mean, I was making some valid points, but obviously Jack's back now, so. Making it as useful. Yay!
It's the bestest ever.
Bestest ever. She wasn't that useful because she didn't actually find the Doctor in the end, did they?
They interrupt her with a video of the Dalek.
Yeah, and it's like, I think you're right. It's kind of they basically just had this idea of, let's just do something with the Daleks because they couldn't be asked to come up with a prison scenario. Even though a prison breakout story is fairly easy to write, especially for Doctor Who.
Well, he probably just stuck it on at the end when he was finishing writing that god awful shit at the end of series 12 and thought, I know, I've got to have the Daleks in. I'll just stick a title at the end and then make it up.
How about there's a little caveat to the end of this video? We'll probably record it afterwards. Is we'll pitch our own prison break Doctor Who episode.
Yeah.
But we'll do that after because now it's fresh in my mind. You just said it. I'm like, do you know what? Yes, you can come up with a decent storyline, and this is how. But yeah, plot holes. Okay, bit like in The Dark Knight Rises when Batman comes out of a hole in the ground in the middle of nowhere and makes his way all the way over to Gotham
by walking, apparently.
Mm-hmm. Does Leo, with the Dalek attached to him, generates a cloning facility for making other Daleks within minutes? No time passes. No time passes.
They kind of sidestep it a little bit. They say that the Dalek did it when it.
Well, that's bollocks.
Anyway. They don't sidestep it. I thought it might have been an old plan because it sounds like because the Dalek says, I did it, and you kind of go, okay, maybe it did it when it was a scout in the previous clone of it. Before it was a clone, when it was actually a scout. Yeah, confusing, but we'll get there eventually. Created the cloning facility, but that didn't happen. And then it explains later that, I used all your infrastructure and all this sort of stuff to be able to create this facility. And you kind of sit there and go, well, hang on a minute. It hasn't even been 10. It's been 10 months. Bearing in mind, it wasn't straight away they found the Dalek carcass and started making Daleks out of it, or let alone made the clone. So are you telling me that they built that whole thing in fucking Osaka with the cloning facility within a few months?
Yeah.
A, without anyone noticing, and B, without even actually showing any passage of time. There's no passage of time in the episode. It's like he gets off a plane and it suddenly appears there, and you sit there watching it. Narratively, makes like, this has just suddenly happened.
How the hell did he get through airport security with a Dalek stuck to his back?
Oh my god!
I feel like I'm not picking out the relevant plot hole here. Yeah, you're quite right.
Just moving from one to the other.
But you're quite right. Why does Jack have to commit all those crimes if he can just use a vortex manipulator to get out of the prison?
Yeah. If time travel's not a problem for the prison, then it's like, you could time travel into the prison or vortex into the prison or whatever they want to call it. And it's like, okay, that's the Doctor's cell. Zap, done.
Unless he's like, I can only use it a certain amount of times. Like they're going on about that whole thing of, it's cheap and nasty time travel.
Cheap and
or space travel.
Yeah, but even
space hopper.
Yeah.
Compared to my sports car. What fucking else happens in this? Why is there a set of Daleks, SAS Daleks? I mean, I'd say poorly described because they definitely aren't SAS.
The manner of which they're deployed and used.
Well, they're sitting in the time vortex. Why?
Well, what? That's
what other than to kill Daleks that aren't Daleks. That's their sole purpose. But you would have thought someone in Central Command, maybe on Skaro at some time, maybe the Emperor would be going, why have we got 10 million Daleks just sitting on a ship in the vortex designed to kill all the Daleks? We've got a time war going. We've got war against the universe. Why are we not using them against anything? Why are they not just being Daleks killing things?
We already are depleted as it is, and we've got 10 million Daleks just sitting around in the vortex.
When
but
did
why
the SAS use higher numbers to kill anyone else? SAS is usually like a small group of very well-trained soldiers that goes and insert like a fucking scalpel, takes out the insurgents or whatever.
Like the cult of Skaro, but he couldn't use that because someone else already had, so he had to figure his own fucking poor excuse of a reason, and then didn't make any sense with it.
Yeah,
it's just me going before anyone in the comments goes, well, why are you talking about it? You didn't watch it. I'm going based on what you're telling me right now.
Yes. But the SAS, it was just a terrible description. It was the Doctor's, and he used it constantly, over and over and over again. I was like, what?
Chibnall.
Okay, passage of time. Yeah, okay. He didn't. Second thing is this guy, or that guy Leo or Leon or whatever his name was, obviously like a tech person. But when did he become a biologist? If he was
when did he become an expert in cloning?
Yeah,
I get you. I totally get you on that. I was a bit like, hang on.
Okay.
I mean, maybe he's supposed to be just a genius.
Yeah, but if he's a genius, but again, if he's like a genius in robotics, so he can backwards build a Dalek from the remains, like the actual robot suit.
It's like going up to Charles Darwin and going, "Oh look, can you explain to me how the heavens move?"
Yeah.
Sorry, wrong scientist.
Yeah. Why did Captain Jack come back for this episode at all, other than to ratings?
Well, that's exactly what it was, I think. And it's almost like, why did he come back in the fucking Fugitive, the other crap episode? Because it was just a thing. Like, there was no real reason for him to be there.
He's the only reason I ended up by watching it is because my mum wanted to see John Barrowman. And I thought, do you know what? If my mum wants to watch it for that reason, it means I don't have to be watching it. But I'm not making up the viewership here. It's already one.
Yeah, exactly. It's part of one household. Yeah.
One household. It's already there. I'm just going to be morbidly curious. What did he do in the story that made him progress any more?
Yeah.
Did nothing. Nothing. I think he said one profound thing where it's like the joy is worth the pain. And I'm like, see, 11 and 12 and possibly now 13. I don't know. They're causing enough pain. I'm not getting much joy out.
Not getting any joy out of it whatsoever. I just cut. That's why I've cut. I
wasn't even entertained by the Daleks turning up. Because the first set of Daleks you see are the shit ones that are made out of a fucking dustbin lid. It was already too late by the time the new old style. You know what I mean? By the time
the classic 2005 versions.
By the time the real Daleks turn up and deal with the business off screen, I might add mostly.
And like you say, the explanation of why they were even there just makes no sense anyway.
Yeah, they're just sitting in the void. Oh, but the Jack knows about it, and the Doctor know about these Daleks that kill Daleks.
But surely that whole business with the void would then technically that would have been something that happened following the end of Doomsday.
Oh, so no. Sorry, they were in the time vortex, not the void.
Oh, time vortex. Okay, fine.
But then sitting in the time vortex.
But the two of them know. So the last time they saw each other was the David Tennant era. So you'd think there would have been some mention of that by one of the Doctors since, but obviously that's just.
I mean, your retconning there though is Captain Jack's a time agent, so probably knows the time vortex. It's not that one's not too hard to explain away, but
it's I don't know. I just it wasn't great, and this whole what is it? How do they? It's like they trick all the Daleks onto the second TARDIS, and then it's like, oh yeah, it's going to compact on itself and then send itself to the heart of the void. It's like, but isn't the void just like the gap between dimensions or whatever? How does it have a heart? Isn't it just like a weird sort of subspace
into nothing space?
Yeah, it's like, you don't have to,
where the Cybermen still are.
Oh, it's probably still they're killing each other.
Yeah,
but,
isn't it hell? Isn't that what Thingy Bob describes it
Hell,
as?
yeah. I have to say though, they did miss a trick when they came into these SAS Daleks. They could have brought back some like the really old school designs, be like, yeah, these are like the pure hardcore Daleks, like the old grey ones or something. Like,
I'm glad they didn't tarnish with this shit.
Yeah, I know, but it's kind of like, you know, you could have done that and it's a nod, but, you know, shrug.
I don't know, I was already annoyed about the Harry Potter reference. Oh, Doctor, tell yourself a story.
Fine, Privet Drive. Fucking Dursleys.
Right, which one was that? Is that actually Harry Potter, the first book?
That's the first book, Harry Potter. Yeah,
I knew it was the opening line to one of the Harry Potter books.
Yeah.
You know what? For a glimmer of hope, for a second, I thought we were going to get him talking, the Doctor talking about a past experience, maybe a classic series episode story, telling himself a story. You know, tell me a story, Doctor. You know, it was there. It was
back on Spyrodon, you know, something like that.
We're this close to greatness, and then you shut the bed.
It's the story of Chibnall's run.
I'm in Wales, there's giant green maggots in a mine.
All goes back to the Green Death.
Always goes back to Green Death. Always goes back there. The thing is, it's kind of, I'm not angry at it. I'm not even disappointed. It's kind of low expectations basically means that I'm just like, you know what? I'm moderately surprised, moderately impressed because it wasn't as awful as like things like Timeless Child, but it's kind of like really saying much.
We got a solid dump.
There is no praise.
Shit.
Solid dumps tend to be more preferable overall, I think, than a really runny, squelchy shit running down your leg.
It wasn't absolute diarrhea. It was just a solid turd.
Yeah, it's just done. It's fine. You know, it's fine. It's kind of like, I'm not going to sing any praises for it because there's nothing to sing praises about, but I'm not going to I'm not going to like jokingly be like, for it. It's just, it is what it is. Sorry.
Just a big solid burp.
Yeah, based on the title Revolution of the Daleks, I thought it was a prison for Daleks. There was Daleks in that prison, and then the Doctor was just kind of like lumped in there with them. And then you could have like the Doctor and the Daleks working together, like you know.
That already sounds better as an idea, frankly, than the New Year's episode.
Yeah, and also the fact that they called it Revolution of the Daleks didn't make any sense because it wasn't really a revolution. Like there wasn't like a load of Daleks that were
rebelling against other Daleks.
Against them, it was more like purification of the fake Daleks. Do you know what I mean? It just the title itself doesn't make sense.
It's like the Scout Dalek went back and got killed, so it's kind of like, it's no revolution there. It's not like I'm trying to overthrow you with my new superior Daleks.
My new regime.
What would you give this out of 10, gentlemen?
Oh God.
Would you? Is it better than Time Flight or worse?
Ooh, what did I give Time Flight? I'll have to watch that video back.
Gave
it a 2.
Yeah. We did give it a 2.
Yeah, it's not much better than that.
I mean, I suppose it's unfair comparing it to our classic reviews, but I suppose it's, you know.
Okay, let's put it this way. At least it did have the Daleks in it.
Oh, he's gone again. That's it. He's like, I'm not talking about fucking Time Flight. He's paused it.
Simple.
Pause sign, is it? Maybe he's gone to. He's like, right, I'm not talking about this shit anymore.
Yeah, I've had enough.
Time Flight up. I didn't even watch it, so fuck you. Oh, he's back again.
Yeah, I'm having so many
Angle's got you in this video chat tonight.
Yeah, I think this video is probably cursed from my end.
Yeah. I know, it's cool, man. It's still going.
Yeah.
We've got 40 minutes to play with.
What would I give it out of 10? 4. It's kind of like, the thing is...
That's pretty shit, isn't it?
The thing is, I can't hate it. I can't. I don't have it in me to hate it because it's not that bad. Like we were saying, it's like, it is watchable. You know, they didn't do anything like over the top and ridiculous and horrendous or anything like that.
Law breaking again.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm going to come in at 3. only because I don't have the benefit or the hindsight of any of the last season to understand what half the references were in the episode.
But even then, you don't even need to know the references, though, do you?
You'd probably give it a lower. You'd probably give it a lower ranking if you did know what the references were for. So,
but yeah, probably.
Yeah.
I mean, in terms of just watching it without any of the understanding of the back,
standalone.
I'd probably just get, like I said, I'm going to give it a 3. I'd probably give it a 4 if I had watched, because then I wouldn't have had to spend a good sort of 5 minutes going, okay, that must be something from last season. Okay, that's something else from last season. Okay. John Barrowman's talking about like 2005 Doctor Who.
Yay! Back when it was Doctor Who.
Yeah.
Mostly the same problems are there that we've all been complaining about. With some clunky dialogue. I mean, the American Trump man just talks in irritating businessman quotes.
Yeah, it's kind of he was very shitty Lex Luthor caricature kind of person.
I mean, somehow he comes out of it all smelling of roses.
Yeah.
To which everyone's pissed off about, and all the characters are pissed off about it, and it was just like...
Well, so he doesn't actually get... I thought they were...
no, he doesn't. Sorry, John. Yeah, he doesn't get his comeuppance. He comes out of it. He comes out of it redeemed, almost maybe getting a knighthood, and back on track to become president of the United States by the end of the story.
There you go. So that'll...
So brilliant. We really
needed the main villain of Series 13, then.
They'll do that. If this whole Donald Trump becoming president again happens.
Also,
maybe
blackmail and business doesn't work in the way that, oh yes, I know about all your tax records, so you're going to do this thing for free.
No.
That's not how underhanded business works.
No, it's not underhanded.
I mean, I'm not an expert on it, but I'm pretty sure I've seen other films do it in much more clever way.
Well, I was going to say, ladies and gents, there's a reason, why Harry's not a business tycoon anymore. He got manipulated.
I'm in hiding. That's why I had to cut my hair.
That's right, yeah. We're on the
manipulated run. With stocks and shares in Amazon.
A small loan of £1 million.
And they got blown up because that's the message they were trying to send in that episode.
Oh, yeah, it wasn't the big evil corporation. It was the
workers are evil ones.
Working as a packer.
Packer.
I watched that episode yesterday with my brother.
No invasion.
I like. You know what? For an 8-part episode, I've got through it, and it does romp along quite nicely. It lingers a bit in the middle, but generally it's like it doesn't. Put it this way. Like we were talking about the fucking web planet as well. It's like it feels a lot shorter than that fucking episode, and it's 2 episodes longer. Yeah, that one's 2 episodes shorter. Wow. Sorry, we're getting off piste. 3 out of 10 because the dialogue's bad. They've written out the 2 best characters, replacing them with someone else that I don't know if it's going to be any better. I couldn't stand seeing Jodie.
Northerners in there now. Yeah.
I was actually visibly disappointed. Like the first 10 minutes, the lead up, I thought felt like Doctor Who, people getting killed off, and you're like, oh, this is some horrible shenanigans going on. And then she turned up in the prison, and I was like, oh man, she's already irritating me.
Yeah.
And then she didn't really redeem any part of that episode. She didn't make any of that episode any good, which is just disappointing. Like her performance, the Doctor turning up, didn't actually
enhance any of it.
Story in any way.
Right. Yeah. Which again, it's a worrying indictment.
Maybe that's just my personal take on it. Maybe it's because I don't like her as an actress, and I don't like her portrayal, and I don't like the writing for her, which then puts a lot of negatives on my point. So maybe I am probably a bit biased in that respect. But
you can only base it on how you feel, and if that's how you feel, that's how you feel. There's no right or wrong way to feel about it, is there?
Yeah, true.
Apart from the fact that this is shit, but.
But Bladders and Tyson Cole going, I was a bit like, ugh. And then there was that horrible moment where I was just like, it's just going to be Yaz.
Yeah.
And I was looking at Amanda, she's terrible. She is terrible. I mean, even tried to give her something to do and she couldn't do it right.
Well, now the argument will be, now that she's on at the moment, that she's on the road, I'll give her more to do.
Nice announcement at the end. John Bishop's joining the Doctor crew. And I'm like,
yeah, why did he do that? When have they ever announced?
Why they don't just leave it as a surprise?
Yeah.
No, but what they need to do is get all the people. I mean, I don't know, maybe like me, get me back on board. They don't get me back on board with just John Bishop. Sorry.
No. And especially considering we're not going to see any part of his portrayal in Doctor Who for at least another year.
I find him semi-funny at best.
And good luck for the American audience to be able to understand what he's going to be fucking talking about, because he's got a very strong Scouse accent, and I doubt he's going to put on any other accent, because they're all about just use your normal accent, because that's what it's all about now.
Every planet has a region.
Every planet has a north. Like they're all north now.
Everyone's from the north.
Every planet has Scousers.
Jack.
Yeah.
No, there was a nice little reference about Gwen. Hey, Torchwood.
Oh yeah, I heard there was a reference to Rose though as well.
Well, yeah, because he was killed.
Yeah.
In an episode with Rose. Oh yeah, you never forget your first time getting killed. That's why he doesn't like Daleks. Oh nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some people on Twitter going, "Oh my god, a Rose reference!"
But like you say, everything else around it, the Daleks suddenly turning up. When did they use UV light to transport? Was that something in the Revolution of the Daleks that I just didn't?
In Resolution last time.
Yeah.
I think it was the Resolution or whatever.
It was
Resolution. It's called Resolution. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like they had the UV lights was what healed the Dalek used the UV light to heal itself and pull its parts back together, but that was just like the actual biological squiddy bits. That was nothing to do with any.
Somehow this is used to teleport them all into the robotic Daleks.
Apparently.
Oh yeah, sorry. We
my God.
Missed out some real key plot points that just don't make any sense.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't make sense, Jack. You can't pull this one off.
Oh, not going to. I'm not going to try. I can see.
You're going to reconsider your grading for this episode now.
I'm leaving it as a 4 because of stuff like that. It's like I'm not. No, I'll stand by the 4. I'll stand by the 4 because it's kind of like it's no. It's like I said, it's kind of even stuff like that. I'm like no, that's not how it worked last time. But I'll let it go because it's kind of like
meh.
In the grand scheme of things, it's worse than they've done in this.
Not gonna have any long lasting.
I'm telling you, man, it gets 3 out of 10 because of meh.
Meh.
Just attitude in
general. I think it's a 3-letter word that describes it quite well. It wasn't very offensive. It didn't upset
number for each word.
But equally, I didn't get entertained a great deal, and the Daleks turning up was probably the highlight of the whole thing, even if the reasons they were there were completely convoluted and didn't make sense. John Barrowman didn't do anything for the story. He wasn't given anything to do, and if anything, he was just basically taken the piss out of by Yaz.
Right.
And then we lost Bladders and Tyson Cole, which I don't know, maybe 10 months away. 10 months away from the Doctor's enough to make you be like, I can't be bothered traveling through time and space anymore.
It's a bit like my feelings towards this episode. 10 months away. I didn't really care to watch it again after that. Like, no, not for me. Not until the.
Yeah, I mean, I've come back with an open mind, and I'm going to quite happily close it again now.
Yeah, good man. Welcome back to the dark side.
We'll probably watch the next series when it comes out, because if we follow the trend, it's going to be Jodie's last series. So we're just building up to her leaving.
And it'll be a shorter series.
It will be. Yeah, 6 episodes. Maybe
I mean, we can but pray.
Yeah. That won't be at least till 2022. Well, saying that though, she'll be the lead in the 60th, guaranteed, and then that'll be her regeneration episode. That's what I'm thinking.
When is the 60th?
2023. So 2 years away now.
I don't know. Would she
considering the amount like at the rate at which Chibnall puts these fucking series and specials out, this will be it now for the rest of the year. Then next season it will be season 30. Series 13 will start like February.
It's an alarmingly woeful schedule that they're actually managing to put out. Bearing in mind, 2005, we had more episodes.
Yeah,
and it was every year
without fail, and the Christmas special. Yeah,
without fail for about 3, and then it was 4th year the specials because of David Tennant and his different things to do. You know,
and okay, Moffat had the year of there was the split
the year of split seasons.
He still managed
split seasons too much. You got spring and autumn, shorter seasons, but I mean, it was more often.
Yeah.
But it's now getting to that point where it's like less episodes.
Most of which are crap.
More years.
Yeah.
And
it's a lot that goes on.
Hang on a minute. Yeah, exactly. I mean, to be fair, why am I complaining? I don't like it. So maybe shorter episode counts. Yeah,
way in between.
Good thing. I've got less to have to worry about watching.
Yeah, that's a bit. There'll be no. That's it now. It's like day 1 of 2021, and then there's no more new Doctor Who for another year, probably more. So that's your lot, folks. Enjoy.
My only disappointment to that is that it's not getting over with it quick enough.
No, that's it.
I just want this era, shall we call it, this
convoluted mess,
this incarnation of the Doctor to be dealt with, and have a new Doctor
and a new showrunner,
That'd be better. And then see where the show can be picked up and do something else with now.
Mm.
You know what everyone loves to say is that the show relies on change and renewal. We now got to how many? No, it's not seasons now. It's how many years?
Yeah.
How many years has it been, Jodie? Now.
Well, this will be the 3rd, going on to 4. Basically, by the time series 13 finishes, she would have been 4 years, which technically I think would make her the longest running New Who Doctor. Which is depressing when you think about it, isn't it?
Tennant technically get that because he appeared in series 1 of New Who 2005. It's like the very end.
Yeah. But then I suppose if she's in the 60th, that will then definitely make her the longest running, which is probably going to happen. Yeah. Despite not doing as many episodes
in that amount of time.
No, exactly. Yeah.
So that's my only gripe is that we've got less episodes, but they're spread over a longer period. So the time where I have to not tolerate and not watch Doctor Who. I mean, whichever way you want to look.
It's basically the time that she's like the sort of the poster girl, and that fucking logo is just going to be there. We just have to keep putting up with it for even longer, even though there's less of it.
I get really, and I forgot how much I disliked that opening.
Yeah, it's
dreadful. And then it comes on my Blu-ray classic Doctor Who.
Yeah.
Wow! But I mean, I've complained about this before.
I know, but it's worth doing again because it comes up. It comes up more often than not.
And every chance.
Every time I stick my Blu-rays in, wow!
It's just a constant reminder. It's like, you might be watching classics, but we're in charge now.
Is still Doctor Who. We're here. Here's John Barrowman. It's the Daleks. Please come back and watch.
They actually care.
Yeah. So the thing is, here I am. I thought I'd spent all my can be bothered coins on watching this, and here I am watching it because I kind of maybe a tiny part of me now just hopes that I'm blown away. I sit down and quite willing to let it be like, this is the best thing since sliced bread and it's amazing, but it just isn't.
It just comes back to
it always just falls flat, and you kind of get to that point where I'm like,
why do I keep bothering? That's why I didn't. And also,
I just want a change now. I want a new Doctor. I want a new Doctor.
The definition of insanity You know,
doing the same thing and
over
expecting
again.
different results. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
No,
Well, as it stands, it's kind of
different results.
I'm not hoping for anything good to happen, but it's kind of, and it's as it stands. I think I'm just more watching it out of obligation for things like the channel and stuff. It's kind of I said to you guys in the messages earlier. It's kind of like,
okay. Only see your forehead, Jack.
Sorry, good hop.
There you go. No, that's all right. It was just quite funny.
I was only watching it more for I was watching it just for the channel rather than anything else. So it's just like,
bless you.
And it's kind of like, and obviously Harry's gone and watched it as well. Sean, you dirty traitor, haven't watched it yet.
Nor will I, but at least I get to. I'm still here talking about it vicariously through you guys, and I'll be editing this video. So that's what I said. I thought I'd give the floor to you two because then I don't have to.
So I've just seen one of my old flatmates, and their response was, "Did you just watch it?" Yeah, just finished. It's fucking boring.
Was that what they said, or you said?
That's what I just said.
Yeah.
I mean, fair assessment actually, because let's be honest, what happened that was exciting? Yeah, exactly. Actually.
I mean, have you seen Daleks? Is always exciting, but it's like, I don't know.
I want to say Captain Jack Harkness, God knows how old he is in lore in the world of Doctor Who, but he's a shitty demolitions person. It's like they've got like they've got 6 bombs each that they're putting on the Dalek ship, so that's 18 bombs, and they're just putting them randomly in corridors next to each other, and it's like, okay, go and find something that's glowing or something and put them near that because that looks like it could be vital. But it's like, no, just randomly on ledges in corridors. It's like, okay.
To be fair, if that was the case, why don't we just leave all 6 together and just put it somewhere and watch the whole thing blow up? There were big enough explosives to just blow up the whole thing anyway.
Was it?
And he wouldn't have needed to spread them about. He would have just had to just send himself. And if anything, he could have done a whole suicide,
He's immortal. He's not going to die.
Can't really do that one. It's a bit bad taste, isn't it, really?
Yeah, no, not anymore.
It's a bit like calling the Daleks SS Daleks. That's what they were.
Well, this is it. It's kind of I'm not sure if I quite got the scale of this because it's kind of like, were the Daleks just attacking the UK? Because it's kind of the implication was that's where they were only there. But
Daleks in the UK.
Yes, yeah. They were being rolled out across the UK.
Rolled out across the UK. Okay.
The Prime Minister is and talks about how her underhanded deal. I mean, no one talks about, we're going to have free security, which is not going to cost us anything. I'm going to announce that on national what bollocks? You'd still charge us tax for doing it anyway, because that's what a government would do. So there's so many points where it's like his storytelling just doesn't actually make any sense in any reality whatsoever.
No.
Convoluted. Contrived.
And by this point, he's right. He's been writing it now for 3 years. You'd have thought he would have gotten a fucking clue by now. But no, if anything, he's got worse.
Yeah. I don't know what we were expecting to be good from this, but it's
Andrew Cartmel walked fucking rings around him when he did season 26. And I find the audacity of the man to level criticism at that season of Sylvester Boys and Andrew Cartmel's writing, and then he comes out with this bullshit. That's what really fucks me.
Because he genuinely believes that what he's writing is the best that there ever has been. Like, this is his vision for Doctor Who, and it's like, right, okay, well, what fucking nightmare world did we wake up in where this was what Doctor Who was, perceived to be? Like, it's never been better.
It's almost like he took the Andrew Cartmel master plan and was like, do you know what? Let's just do the Timeless Child, but instead of doing, the trial,
it'll be the Chibnall master plan.
The Chibnall master plan to ruin a perfectly good series.
Literally from the very foundation of it.
Yeah.
Because that's like, this will leave a mark. He's all about leaving marks. All he's left is a giant fucking skid mark.
You lightly mention about the Timeless Child stuff. I'm I've now just elected, a bit like in the Doctor Who TV movie, where you find out the Doctor's half human.
Oh, just ignore it.
We'll just ignore that that's even a thing.
Yeah.
And I'm now just going to accept that I'm just going to ignore that the Timeless Child or that Jodie Whittaker is even the Doctor. Just going to ignore it. And it's not part of it.
It doesn't exist.
I'll just wait till we get the next regeneration, and then I'll just happily go from Peter Capaldi onto whoever.
Onto this one. Yeah.
Whoever the next incarnation is after Jodie.
Yeah. And if you know, and if you're going by, you know, what Stephen Moffat and Mark Gatiss have said about, canon doesn't matter. It's like, all right, then then this one doesn't matter then. So no one's going to have.
Canon doesn't matter. I can quite happily ignore this.
No one has any right to have any complaints about this if like they suddenly change everything that Chibnall's done, and then you have people coming out going, but you can't do that because he's done this. Well, I thought canon didn't matter. He doesn't. Just keep changing it as you go on. Then why not? Yeah.
Oh dear. Well, this is it. The whole thing just sucks now.
Yeah. Sorry. You two have had a kind of like enthusiastic thrust to your opening gambits, and I've kind of just brought it back down to misery.
No, that's the problem.
Even watching it.
That's the problem with the new series. You kind of go in hoping it's going to be better than it is, and then you kind of, even us talking about it, I've kind of gone from like, oh, it's a 3 out of 10. Oh, I think that's even being generous. The more you scratch at it, the more bits you sort of go, oh yeah, there was that scene with Tyson Cole and the Doctor and talking about the Timeless Child stuff, and there's like so many words came out that I was just like, what the deaths. Or fear, kill them. What? Gallifrey's. Oh, well, I don't care. She said so much in that short space of time that this is what I mean about having to have watched the final episode of last season to get what some of this fucking bullshit's about. And even then, I didn't care.
Do you know what, Harry? You should do. You should do a reaction video to the Timeless Child. Be like, fuck! Why was I even bothering with this shit?
I really don't want to. I try and avoid the new series because I don't want to be coming across as this grumpy old bastard who just doesn't like Doctor Who.
That's why people love us. Well, some people do anyway.
That's why people watch our channel.
Exactly.
No, but I don't want to be known as that guy.
That's why it's like I just didn't do it this time because I knew that's what I was just gonna moan about it. Like I kind of still have already, even if I haven't fucking watched it.
About it.
Yeah. It can't be helped. It just can't help it. I'm moaning about it with a smile on my face though, so at least that's something.
Tongue in cheek. That's what it is.
Rather than being like, you know, like on the actual Timeless Child video that we did, Jack, where we were. I suppose we were kind of laughing as well, but then we got really fucking angry. It was more. It wasn't anger. It was just more. It was more like mourning.
But
like Harry was like someone had died.
I suppose going back to what I said in the video, complaining about the Jodie series, is that whereas I couldn't understand why anyone would have enjoyed those episodes, I can see why people would enjoy this. I suppose it's where I'm going to change my tack slightly. Whereas before I'd be like, I don't understand why anyone likes this. This is awful, and I still stand by that about Series 11. I don't have an opinion on Series 12. Didn't watch it. Christmas special. So it's ingrained in me. The New Year's special, like Jack says, it was inoffensive.
Yeah.
It was all right.
Yeah.
But it's still
not good enough.
I still don't think it's good enough. But I can understand why people would enjoy it.
Yeah.
Because there's more in there to enjoy than I've seen for an entire season.
Yeah.
And that was Series 11. And even if it had recurring characters from that season that I thought, why are you bothering? Why are you bothering putting the Pating as a small kid? Like, oh, why? Why?
And also strange that he would bring something from a Series 11 rather than the most recent series. Like, you know what I mean? It's like he skipped Series 12 completely, probably for the best. But you know, it's just one of those. Yeah, it's just an odd choice. Maybe it's just like, oh look at this thing that I had. Remember it?
Remember Little Stitch? Remember Little Stitch?
Yeah, everyone. Yeah.
Experiment 626. Well, I mean, like I said, it's not offensive. It is just a bit boring. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just beyond the stuff that we've already.
Just a crap Doctor Who episode. Yeah, fair enough.
It's just meh. Can we watch a classic Doctor Who episode?
Can we do some good Doctor Who soon?
Can we start watching good Doctor Who until Doctor Who comes good again?
Yeah, well, that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing. This whole fucking classic Who marathon. I'm like, this is because I still haven't seen a lot of it anyway. So it's like, right, this is my new Doctor Who, the stuff I haven't seen before.
My problem is I've already done that. There's no episode I haven't seen.
But you can still.
I mean, my new discovery is new Doctor Who. So yeah. I suppose part of
just
watching New Year's episode fulfill some of this need, even if it is awful.
Work your way back.
Maybe I'm taking a leaf out of my workmate Alex's book, and it's that, some Doctor Who's better than no Doctor Who.
In this case, not really for me. That's bad. Some new of this era anyway.
That's why I'm going on to Big Finish. Just going to listen to Big Finish from now on.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Well, this is it. They could have just had Peter Capaldi start to regenerate and then cut it off there. And it's like, okay, we're taking a 10-year break to retool the show or whatever. And then, 10 years after that, it comes back with brand new Doctor just finishing off the regeneration scene. Boom, done. Bloody 2020. I'm glad it's over.
Yeah, in the rearview mirror now, that fucking dumpster fire.
Yeah, don't worry. 2021's got plenty of time to get.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It could actually be even fucking worse.
To be fair, I expected to be already be ruined, but Doctor Who was meh.
So I would quite happily take, compared to last year, I would quite happily take a meh year where nothing much happened.
Because meh doesn't destroy anything. It doesn't upset anybody. It's just meh.
It's just there. It is just what it is.
That would be fine. I'd be happy with that. Just like a meh, kind of boring year.
I mean, I did say yesterday. I said my one ask for 2021 is that it's a bit better than 2020. I mean, even if it's just a bit better, I'll be happy. And maybe my prayers have been answered. It's just a bit better.
You must have read my mind, Harry, because I put that on our Twitter thing. I said, "Happy New Year." He's hoping it's just even slightly better than last year. Cheers.
My hopes have got really, really small. It's just like, has it got much better? Am I going to be able to have a sandwich later? It's nice. Cool. As long as my 2021 just continues to get a bit better.
At some point this year, are we actually going to be able to be in the same room? That'd be quite nice.
Well, think of it this way. We get to April. If we're still under all these restrictions, we could probably go and do something live in a park somewhere.
Oh, yeah, we can be like 15-year-old kids.
Yeah, or just on
our mobile phones.
Or just in your living room, Jack, or mine.
in Sean's garden, socially distanced.
Sean's got a garden. Yeah. Sean's got a garden. We'll go sit in Sean's garden. Sweet.
There you go.
That's the plan.
I'll have a swing and a slide in it by then, but still.
Yes. Sweet. I get to go down a slide.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Cool. Right. Well, I'm going to shoot. You guys enjoy yourselves. And I'll enjoy myself.
Immensely.
And
I will see you. I'll see you guys definitely next week, if not before, when it comes to doing the next one with Rob.
Yeah. Or we do a video with Rob to introduce him, and then we do a classic Who story.
Yeah,
I think we do. Which Doctor were we gonna? I think we were gonna do Troughton, weren't we? Or Colin Baker?
We could do Troughton.
Yeah.
Crotons, maybe.
Yeah. Good story. I'm up for that.
I'm only suggesting the Crotons because it's the next one.
The one you're watching now. Yeah.
Kill two birds with one stone.
Skipping ahead a bit, but yeah, fuck it.
Right. Well, send me the episode title, and I'll do it from there. And cool.
All right.
See you guys. Enjoy.
And you. All right. We'll put that as an end to this episode of Nerdaholics. Enjoy it, and we'll see you again soon.
Happy New Year to everyone.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Let's hope it's a better one.